Now on Nightside, the Mariners' bid to reach their first World Series in franchise history falls just short as they lose a heartbreaker in Game 7 of the ALCS in Toronto. We have full highlights of the game.
I'm tracking some gorgeous sunny fall weather, but don't get too used to it. I'm also tracking another big round of rain in the first alert forecast.
And graffiti, drug paraphernalia, and broken glass plague an alley near Gonzaga Prep. The step the school wants to take to protect students. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, good evening, and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. The Mariners fell to the Toronto Blue Jays tonight in Game 7 of the ALCS. They were just a few outs away from securing their spot in the World Series, but they couldn't close it out. Sports reporter Mia Green joins us now to bring us the highlights.
Heartbreak tonight in the Pacific Northwest, and for fans across the country, the Mariners' incredible postseason run ends in Game 7. Just one win shy of the World Series, not the ending that the fans and the team had hoped for, but what a journey it has been. The Mariners are the team that sparked belief, brought the region together, and reminded everyone what October baseball felt like. A leadoff single by Josh Naylor in the top of the first drove in Julio Rodriguez, giving the M's a 1-0 lead. And in the third, Julio Rodriguez bombed it out the park to make it 2-1. The momentum was going strong. And then Cal Raleigh followed with his own homer in the fifth, extending the M's lead 3-1, and everything seemed to be in place for the Mariners' first ever trip to the World Series. A moment the Blue Jays fans were waiting for, a rally in the seventh and flipped the momentum when George Springer hit a 3-run homer to pull ahead 4-3. And despite the finish, the Mariners proved something huge. They belong in this race. An unforgettable run that's just the beginning for this team that raised the bar for the Pacific Northwest and set a brighter foundation for the future. We'll have more sports for you later in the show, so don't miss it. Back to you at the desk, Derek.
All right, still hurts pretty bad though, Mia, thank you. Gonzaga Prep calls an alley next to campus its biggest safety threat to students. The school demands the city close the pathway that runs along the west side of campus, between Euclid and Cleveland. The area contains graffiti, drug foil, empty liquor bottles, broken glass, and human waste, just yards from where hundreds of teenagers walk to school daily. Today, city staff formally introduced the vacation request at a public meeting.
Gonzaga Prep has experienced a lot of criminal activity in that alley, so they would actually like to vacate it.
Spokane police support this closure, telling the school it's likely the only solution. Officers cannot remove trespassers from the alley because it remains public property. If the city vacates the street and makes it private, police could enforce trespassing laws. The proposal now moves through city channels where staff and neighbors will decide who will pay the closure costs and utility relocation expenses. Well, nearly 1 million people in Washington could lose their food stamps or SNAP benefits if the government shutdown continues into next month. Food stamps are only funded through the end of October. Local food banks say they're seeing triple the amount of households relying on food banks compared to 2 years ago. One woman who relies on food banks is worried she won't be able to feed her 5 kids without food stamps, even though she has a job.
If you know someone that's struggling, put a food box together yourself if you can. If you can't give, volunteer time. Even letting people know about the resources in the community.
Caritas Food Bank says around 75% of the people it serves are on food stamps or other food assistance programs. The last of the donations collected through the Hope for Kids Hygiene Drive were delivered today. This drive, organized by 4 News Now, Numerica Credit Union, and Project Beauty Share, collected $500,000 worth of deodorant, shampoo, toothpaste, and other basic hygiene items. The products will help thousands of students who lack access to these hygiene necessities.
Schools don't have funding to purchase shampoo and conditioner. It's one of those extra things that we have on hand, but it's super important because being clean and coming to school looking great really helps boost that self-esteem for students.
Spokane Public Schools received their donations today. The Hygiene Drive sent products to 9 different school districts from Medical Lake all the way to Coeur d'Alene. Pretty awesome. All right, Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us now. Chris, it appears the rain is gone. at least for a few days.
Yes, bright blue skies and the timing on this next round of rain just in time for another wet weekend. Can't be too upset as much as we need that precipitation, but it still would be nice to have some of this sunshine on the weekend. 4 things to know about your weather. We do have clouds across the region overnight tonight. Mostly sunny skies tomorrow. It is going to be a beautiful fall day with light winds. We have a warming trend, a little bit warmer tomorrow, even warmer on Wednesday before our temperatures start to drop again into another soggy weekend starting on Friday. Now, we did have just a few very light sprinkles move through the region earlier this evening, but we are already starting to clear from the northwest to the southeast across the region. Tomorrow morning, you may wake up with a few clouds. Here's our Tuesday forecast hour by hour, but they will be clearing quickly. 35 degrees to start the day in Spokane. We'll be in the mid-40s by 10 o'clock. And again, those skies will clear by mid-morning. 48 degrees at 11. By the time the kids are getting out of school, we'll be close to our high, which will be close to 60 degrees. 59 by 4 o'clock with, again, lots of sunshine and light winds. I'm tracking that next round of precipitation. Starts Friday and continues through the weekend. I'll tell you all about that, plus have a recap of the weekend's wet weather in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, talk to you in a bit. An Idaho Fish and Game hatchery truck rolled over today, as you can see here in this photo. The truck was involved in a non-fatal accident on Highway 8 near Beauville, east of Moscow. The driver sustained minor injuries after losing control. However, all 3,000 rainbow trout on board that truck died. They were on their way to the Elk Creek Reservoir. Fish and Game says it'll adjust its stocking efforts across the Clearwater region to ensure that reservoir gets stocked this fall. Continuing coverage now on a crime scene we told you about on Friday in the Logan neighborhood near Gonzaga. Spokane police saying today that a man was shot and killed that evening. According to SPD, they found a man with a gunshot wound at around 7 p.m. He was taken to a local hospital, but he died from his injuries. Police say the parties involved knew each other, and this was not a random act of violence. However, police have not identified or arrested any suspects in connection with this shooting. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Check at the number right here on your screen, 509-456-2233. A woman in court today expressed her frustration with the Spokane court system after her brother was shot and killed earlier this month. 32-year-old Andre Moore was in court today to face charges for the murder of Derek Schaefer. According to court documents, Moore stalked Schaefer and planned to ambush him. The two apparently knew each other and had an argument earlier that night. Prosecutors brought up Moore's long criminal history in court today, including being convicted of burglary and organized retail theft. He also had 25 misdemeanors. Schaefer's sister told the judge the court system failed her brother because Moore should not have been on the streets since he was already awaiting trial on a previous gun charge.
I just feel really let down by the courts right now because of the gun charge that he was OR'd twice on 19 days before he killed my brother.
Investigators say Moore is a known downtown criminal. He's being held on a $1 million bond and will be back in court this Thursday. A manhunt in Paris is underway after several people broke into the Louvre Museum yesterday and stole priceless objects before escaping on motorbikes. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the story.
It took all of 7 minutes on a Sunday morning in Paris, according to investigators who are now on a complex manhunt for 4 robbers and the irreplaceable jewels they stole from the Louvre. Officials say 4 men disguised as construction workers drove up to the side of the museum in a truck mounted with a long ladder, extending that ladder to a 2nd-story balcony where they allegedly used power tools to break in.
The only clue that they left was that should have raised a red flag was that the workers were working on the museum on a Sunday in Paris. Nobody works on Sunday in Paris at 9 a.m.
Police say the men ransacked the Apollo Gallery, getting away on scooters with 8 pieces of jewelry, including this elaborate diamond brooch the Louvre bought in 2008 for just under €7 million. Today, ABC's James Longman spoke with France's Minister of Culture, who is in charge of the Louvre and leading the investigation. She says all of the evidence so far points to organized crime and did not rule out this could be an inside job. French officials say among what they've submitted for DNA analysis is a vest and a bottle of liquid the robbers allegedly used to try and set the truck on fire before they took off. A new report from France's main auditors examines a 5-year period ending last year and finds the Louvre struggled to implement planned security upgrades, which is set to include additional security cameras. The report notes swaths of rooms at the Louvre have no cameras at all. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
A wild story there out of Paris. Well, nobody likes being hit with unexpected banking fees, but there are ways to avoid them. In today's Money Saving Monday, I talked with an expert on how to steer clear of those fees. Overdraft fees, ATM charges, and monthly account fees top the list of expenses that catch people off guard. Setting up account alerts and choosing the right financial institution can help you keep more money in your pocket.
If your account is getting to a certain balance, you can set an alert that actually pops up and shows, hey, your account's at this level, you might want to put money in. Having some kind of account that's linked to your checking account, like a savings account, so that if you are going to overdraft, it will transfer money from like a savings account over to your account to cover that.
Now, for more money-saving banking tips, you can head to our website and find this story on KXLY.com. Well, next on Nightside, Halloween is right around the corner.
According to the National Retail Federation, we're expecting a record year of spending on Halloween. We have our decor, and then we have our costumes, and then we have our candy, and maybe we're outfitting our pet at the same time. And all of that can really add up.
What you can do to save some money this year. And more rain is on the way. Chris Crocker will tell us when next. Don't go away.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Toyota.
4 News Now anchor team, not just in the newsroom, but in the community. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
After I decided my pain was too much, and my doctor actually suggested that I do visit the Good Feet store. Pretty amazing when they put the arch supports in your shoe and you walk around and you realize there's not pain, and you think, how can this arch support in my shoe make my back pain go away? But it works. And how can it make my knee pain go away? It was incredible.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if arch supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
No fair, dude. My Wi-Fi's cooked. Eat it. Do as I feel. Oh yeah, mostly what's in. You have bewitched me, audience. I love you.
That's cool. The smartest Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by never settling. But what's really made Ford F-Series #1 is you.
It's time to go see my good pal Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's all new.
Finally, some good news.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. What was your real name? James Christian Kimmel. You think this is a name I chose?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, new weeknights on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Welcome back. Our countdown to Halloween continues as we are now just 11 days out, if you can believe that. If you're looking for ways to save money this Halloween season, shopping experts have some tricks. According to Wells Fargo, prices of cocoa have doubled since 2024, raising the prices of candy. So if you can, hold out on buying your candy until closer to the 31st.
The longer you wait, the better you're going to do on price, because retailers will be looking to clear that merchandise out. Anything holiday themed, specifically for Halloween, they're going to be wanting to move that merchandise.
And when it comes to costumes, you can consider buying a secondhand one from your local Goodwill or thrift shop, or you can get creative and make your costume with pieces you already have at home. But hard to believe it's only 11 days away. What are the, I don't know, it's a little far ahead to look, but I guess we just hope it's dry and not super rainy, right?
It's looking, the odds, they say it's 50-50 right now. Have a backup plan for your costume just in case. And don't ever buy candy this early. Or at my house, I'll eat the whole bag. Let's take a look at our temperatures right now. It is 46 in Spokane, 47 in Coeur d'Alene. Mostly cloudy skies. As I mentioned, we had a few sprinkles as the clouds drifted through, but these clouds are clearing and should be gone by tomorrow morning. No precipitation measurable at the airport, despite the fact, as I mentioned, a sprinkle or two, but we certainly had a good amount of rain over the weekend. Want to keep this number in mind, over 0.8 of an inch over the weekend. We still running below average year to date, but that 0.8 over the weekend was more rain than we had in June, July, August, and September combined. And if you notice, October, only the second month so far this year where we've had above average precipitation. February, also above average precipitation. I really thought we were going to have a good water year in February, and then things just fell off. And we still have several days to go, more than a week to go in October, that we will be adding to that number, but not in the short term. Meanwhile, this is our percent of usual rain over the past 30 days, and we have not been in the green in a long time. It's nice to see a lot of our locations in the black. I will say that even though these numbers are a little bit lower down on the Palouse and the LC Valley, it was the opposite for the first part of the fall with above average precipitation down on the Palouse, and there's more rain coming. I think everybody's going to be just fine as we take a look at our chance of rain. Dry Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Friday, we are up to a 90% chance of rain, and that is going to continue that chance of rain through Saturday. Well, here's what's going on. High pressure is going to keep systems that are moving in from the Pacific from making their way across the Cascades. They will be headed north and into Canada or just fizzling out on the west side until we get into Friday. We start to see a bigger pattern change, and that is going to just be the first of many rounds of wet weather to move through the region. Temperatures will be above average for the next 4 days. Then we have a pretty good drop heading into Sunday and Monday, back down in the 40s for highs. This white line is our average high. So we've got a lot of different weather over the next 7 days. In the meantime, enjoy the pretty fall weather. Rain comes in Friday, and at least a chance of precipitation every day through the rest of the 7-day forecast. I want to show a beautiful pic of the night with you. Andra Derrickson captured this image, full rainbow. Many rainbow photos were submitted over the past 24 hours. She captured this image on Sunday. Got a little wheat stubble field ready to be planted with something new in the foreground, and the promise of a little more rain there with that rainbow, Derek.
Yeah, the lighting on that is really something. All right, still ahead, a massive internet outage affected millions of users across the country today. What Amazon says caused it. And you don't see this too often, a house stuck in the middle of the street. Why was it there? We'll tell you next on Nightside.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
From your head and shoulders, down to your toes, and everywhere in between. Kootenai Health provides advanced medicine right where you need it, right here in North Idaho.
more powerful than an unexpected storm? Insurance that helps clean it up. Western National Insurance. That's the power of nice.
Dear Friday, let's put good times in gear. We've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks.
Right now, you can lease a rugged new Toyota Tacoma for just $279 per month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
With heat like this, air conditioning's a necessity. Bill's Heating and AC can get you the relief you want with the urgency you need. We offer free same-day estimates and next-day installation. Plus, all our new equipment comes with a low price guarantee. So call Bill's Heating and AC today and take advantage of our 0% for 5 years promotional financing.
Is there a sport your kids haven't suited up for? Luckily, when it comes to providing advanced care for your family, there isn't a sports injury Kootenai Health hasn't seen. Find your specialist at kh.org.
4 News Now is brought to you by Wonders of the World.
Well, in less than a month, Spokane voters are going to be asked to vote on a $240 million levy to support and renovate local parks. So we're going in depth on this part of the Together Spokane initiative this week, and we're asking what you want to know as you make your decision. Head to the 4 News Now Facebook page and ask your questions about this parks levy, or send us an email with your questions at news4, that's the number 4, at kxly.com. 2 historic houses are about to get new addresses. The first home moved from Gonzaga's campus to a South Hill neighborhood this weekend, but it did encounter a bit of a hiccup on the way. On the night of the move, neighbor Carol McVicker caught the moving process on camera, including when the house got stuck on a median on Freya Street. McVicker says the last few months have been noisy and dusty as Spokane House Moving relocated the homes from Gonzaga's campus. But she says watching the process has actually been worth the inconvenience.
I looked out and it was coming up the street, and it was so exciting, you know, to just see a house in the middle of the street.
Now, townhomes were originally planned for the neighborhood's natural area. McVicker says these homes will be a better fit for the area than a multi-story development. The second house is scheduled to be moved in a few weeks. All right, now for some of our top trending stories in the 4 News Now Story Tracker at number 3. Tyon Grant Foster, a transfer basketball player for Gonzaga, is asking for a Spokane County court to intervene on the NCAA's decision to deny his transfer waiver, which would allow him to play this upcoming season for the Zags. The rules say players can compete for 4 seasons, but it has to be done within 5 years. Due to Grant Foster's time spent playing in community college in 2018, they say he's over his allotment of time. Next, Mount Spokane is one step closer to seeing its next chapter unfold as Washington State Parks has released a draft 20-year development plan for the popular recreation destination. The plan calls for new trails for bikers and hikers and adding more camping spots and additional parking areas. And at number 1, a routine renovation project at Sacred Heart Medical Center led to an unexpected discovery when workers found 3 religious statues hidden inside the walls of the hospital's engineering shop. They found 2 statues of the Virgin Mary and 1 of St. Joseph. The hospital is working to determine how old they are and where they should be permanently displayed. You can find each of these stories and much more on our website, kxly.com. If you noticed you weren't able to do certain things online earlier today, you certainly were not alone. Amazon Web Services suffered an outage today, which in turn affected everything from banking websites to ordering Starbucks from your phone. To break down what happened, here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
Tonight, the massive internet outage crippling thousands of websites and popular apps, which may still be struggling to get back to normal.
There was sort of a cascade of failures. Now it sort of takes a cascade to get everything working again.
It all stems from Amazon Web Services, the largest cloud system in the world, reporting a massive outage around 3 a.m. Eastern Time.
If you go to your banking website, you're trying to book airplane tickets on their website, or you're using a messaging app, all of those different companies are basically renting computers and services in one of these large data centers.
Millions of businesses use them. Apps like Lyft, Ring, and Verizon all experiencing issues, according to Down Detector, which tracks internet outages. Apps like Venmo and Starbucks, too. Hours later, Amazon saying it was seeing significant signs of recovery, and by about 6:30 a.m. Eastern saying the underlying issue had been fully mitigated. But outage reports for AWS continued to rise this afternoon, according to Down Detector. Now tonight, Amazon saying it's been fixed, that all AWS services return to normal operations.
So we live in an era right now where we are very dependent on the cloud providers. So we need them to be at the top of their game. And today, Amazon was not.
Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
All right, Mia Green joining us now.
Well, Derek, we have a lot in sports coming up next. Another big night in the sports world.
Yeah, you've got that right. We've got all the highlights coming up. Stay with us.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by VECU, your local not-for-profit credit union.
Hey guys, say hi to Mel.
It's hometown week. I have 3 women left. Last time someone took me home to meet their family was over 25 years ago. I hope they ask me the hard questions.
I hope you're in this for sincerity.
Are you in love with my mom?
I'm not in love with your mom.
Can you see yourself with her?
I don't know.
I love him, but does he love you?
It's time for 4 News Now, Coats for Kids. Drop off new or gently used coats at any of our sponsored locations. We'll bring them to Alsco for professional cleaning, then get them out to local children in need. Donate coats for kids through October 31st.
Share the warmth and do good this winter. Buy a gently used coat for a child at Goodwill and donate in store. Or bring in a new or gently used coat. Every donated coat helps a child stay warm this winter. Together, let's change lives and keep lots of kids warm this winter.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR plus no monthly payments until next year on select Sierra 1500 models.
See your local GMC dealer.
At Shriners Children's, we're home to the world's leading pediatric orthopedic care. Because so many life-changing advancements start here. We provide access to the best doctors and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. We're the first place to turn for the most common or complex orthopedic conditions. Home to possibility and empowering kids to achieve the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
And welcome to sports, folks. We have the Seahawks, the Kraken, the Cougs, and it was a night of highs, heartbreak, and history as the Mariners left it all on the field in Game 7. Thanks for sticking with us. The Mariners came out swinging. Josh Naylor delivers an RBI single to bring home Julio Rodriguez, getting the M's on the board early. And in the third, it was Julio Rodriguez again, launching a solo shot out the park to put the M's back in front after the Blue Jays tied it up. Cal Raleigh followed that in the fifth with his own homer, and it was a moment that lit up the dugout. But in the seventh, the Blue Jays flipped it. A 3-run homer from George Springer gave them the lead of their first lead of the night. The M's kept pushing but couldn't find the spark, and although the Blue Jays get to celebrate advancing to the World Series, the Mariners played fearless and brought October baseball back to life in the Pacific Northwest. And well, here's your final score from Game 7 of the ALCS. The Mariners just fell short, like I mentioned, 4-3 after battling till the end, and they did make history along the way. And on the bright side, the Seahawks showcased their resilience with a commanding performance here at Lumen Field. Zach Charbonnet gets into the end zone early after a 5-play drive. And then right after that, Sam Darnold led with precision, connecting with JSN in the end zone. This is the play right before that, as you guys can see. And then right here at the end, this is the play that Charbonnet's in the end zone again. And then in the first quarter, the Texans are trying to catch up. The score at the half was 14-6. The Seahawks kicker Jason Myers hit 2 field goals, and both the Seahawks and the Texans did get into that end zone in the third quarter, closing it off with the Texans in the end zone. The final score here from the Texans and Seahawks, 27-19 final in Seattle. And a big moment tonight for the Seattle Kraken, although not just because of the result, but because former Spokane Chiefs star Berkeley Catton made his NHL debut. He wasted no time making an impact, picking up his first career point just minutes into the game. He looked confident delivering the opening goal, and it was so nice we just had to show it twice. The Flyers did take control from there, scoring 4 unanswered, and that did shift the momentum for the remainder of the game. And here's the final score. The Kraken, despite the awesome debut from Berkeley Catton, fell to the Flyers for a final score of 5-2. They take on the Washington Capitals tomorrow at 4 p.m. And it was a tough Saturday for the Cougs. They came into the first half with swag, momentum, and it showed promise. They were executing well on both sides of the ball, but after the half, that is where the momentum shifted. There was an inability to respond when the tide turned, despite the effort, and of course, the unfortunate safety that absolutely killed the game. The Cougs almost walked away with the win, but fell short in the last minute. Head coach Jimmy Rogers spoke about the importance of coming out and executing in the second half.
We've struggled in the second half coming out, and if we say that the middle eight's important to us, the middle eight is, for that or half of that is coming out in the second half and executing, especially when we've been either ahead at half or slightly behind. There's an opportunity there to make the most of it, and we just haven't thus far, outside of some of the games that we played well in.
With lessons learned, the Cougs will look to refocus and regroup before their last home game in a long time this Saturday. We're coming back from the break, so go ahead and stay with us. Thanks so much for watching.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
A penny saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
When you're hurt in a car wreck, insurance companies will try to minimize your claim. Don't let them. We're here to fight for every dollar you deserve.
We're in your corner working to get you the best possible outcome.
When I called Craig Swap & Associates, it was so fast and so easy. They got right to work, making sure the insurance company treated me fairly, so I got everything I deserved.
Don't let big insurance take advantage of you. Call Craig Swap & Associates now. One call, that's all. 509-999-9999.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Avamere Southfield is so much more than just a home. We're enhancing lives every single day.
This is a special place. My home was heaven on earth, and now Avamere is heaven on earth.
They're like grandparents to me. Just going the extra mile for them, super important to me.
It's a place to be alive. We do lots of fun things here. I want families to come here and know that their loved ones are being well cared for.
Come visit us and experience the Avamere difference.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Some pretty fall weather for the next 2.5 days, and then we bring in the chance of rain. Right now, it looks like it's coming in Friday evening into Saturday morning, but of course, as we get closer to time, we'll be able to give you a better idea about how that precipitation is going to impact your plans.
Might be a little sketchy for high school football games on Friday. And speaking of that, voting is now open for our high school football game of the week.
And the winner will be featured on this week's edition of Friday Night Sports Extra with Jack Wallace and myself. And options for this week are meet at Gonzaga Prep, University taking on Cheney, and the Lewiston Bengals against the Lakeland Hawks. To cast your vote, find this story on KXLY.com.
All right, some pretty good matchups there. Thanks so much for joining us here on Nightside. We'll see you tomorrow, 5, 6, and 11 once again.